Hi, I'm Streaky, this is Metropolis Mastering. Today, I'm telling you the first thing you should do when you start to master a record. So, the number one thing that you should be doing when you're mastering, when you first come to a track, which is going to make the whole thing sound better, is low end, low mid. Now, if you get these right, the rest of the track will fall into place. The tops are easy to do. Add some top, fine. Play with that top till it sounds nice. Your ears pick up on that a lot easier. Rooms are easier to tune for top end than they are for low end. Low end's never right. So I'm not just talking subs. People always just think, oh, get the subs right. But get the low mids are really important. I mean, this is why I like NS10s, because you can hear it gets rid of all the really super highs and all the really super lows, and you're just focusing in on the mids really. And so that's what they're great for, and those kind of a lot of Nearfield monitors. So like that sort of low end. So I would say anywhere from 800 down is really the most important area. So when I'm first start to master, I'm adding stuff on there, I'm taking it away, I'm just sort of listening to how that's affecting the sound. With EQ, I wouldn't bother compressing at that stage. Straight away, just go in, start adding sort of around, add some shelves around 150, 110. See how that's feeling, because obviously it's going up the mix as well. Start cutting out around 200s, around there, see how that affects it. Start adding some really lows like 50 hertz, 30 hertz, really to kind of give the low end some real sort of whack. Just throw it in there. I'm not saying loads, as always, it's 1 or 2 dBs here and there, but it should make a big difference when you're mastering. Put them in, smash them in, let's see how it sits. Then suddenly you should end up a lot of the time with a fuller mix, a fuller sound. And then from that fuller sound, you can then go, okay, well, is it too much? Do I need to cut into it in places? Has that given you a nice sort of bit of clay, if you like, to start chipping away at and start moulding to go, okay, that's how it should sound. I just find that a lot of the times when I add those low mids, it does give me a sound that I can then start working with. I can hear, okay, now it's sounding full. It's got some nice stature to it. It's got some low end that I can cut into, maybe push and pull a little bit with cues on the EQ, and tighten things up and get things really happening. And then really once I've done that, then I might sort of compress those mids and those lows to try and get a little bit more thump. Because I've added sometimes, then you can afford to take a little bit away with the compression. So really, my number one thing that I would suggest you always should do when you first start mastering any track is see how the low mids are sounding, see how the bass and the foundations, the solidness of the low end is. Because as I say, I think once you've got those and once you've honed those, because when you start cutting into those, the vocals sound nicer, they sound warmer, the snare sounds like has got a little bit more smack to it. They start making all those things sound nice, whereas if you're just adding top all the time, it's just going to start sounding thin and horrible and edgy, which is fine for some tracks, but most tracks will do with some nice low mids because it just makes them sound earthy and have a lot more warmth and the kind of sound that we want to hear, that you hear from a lot of commercial records. That's how they get a lot of presence on radio, and how you can just basically just get it to sound like a fuller and less cheap sounding mix. So I hope that helps. Please subscribe, please share this if you can, please comment. The more comments I get, the better, because it gives me feedback on what videos to do next. So thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.